On this week's Give Voice to Your Vision, where we stop the spinning wheel and we get real, so it is clarity you feel. I'm very excited and jazzed. Had a few days away at the beach today. We're having a special edition of Give Voice to Your Vision because I was traveling and taking some downtime yesterday at our usual noon Pacific time on Thursdays. Today we're talking about inspired imperfectionists increasing impact. There's a couple of reasons why this imperfectionism is on my mind, because I had an opportunity to. I was in another meeting a few weeks ago and I heard somebody talk about becoming an imperfectionist. So we're talking today about courage and confidence and transforming your clarity and confidence to share your message in the biggest possible way. So I'm going to move quickly through a training. We're at a special time today. I wanted to be sure and hop in because I was blown away, so inspired by our first group of the Fearless Facebook Live Formula folks, friends who jumped in this week and we're going live for the first time, and the transformation and the garbage truck is coming and right in the middle of my live. The transformation that these folks were experiencing right there on our call touched my heart, moved me, inspired me, filled me with gratitude. So today I'm going to talk about a few of these things that can help you also have that transformation. So in this quick live, you're going to discover the number one confidence crusher that undermines your ability to get it right. I'm going to wait for the garbage truck to pass. I have the window open. So we're going to cover the number one confidence crusher that undermines your ability to get it right. We're going to cover a 3-step process to transformation. And it'll transform your clarity, your confidence, your client enrollment, your visibility, and anything else. It's always these 3 steps. And I'm going to share my clarity and confidence formula. I'm going to show you some confidence algebra right here, which isn't my strong suit, but confidence is. And this formula always works. And I'm going to share that with you. So we're going to keep it quick and know it's Friday. The first thing I want to talk to you about is that confidence crusher, and it is perfectionism. That's why we are inspired imperfectionists, increasing our impact through embracing imperfectionism. I heard that at a meeting a few weeks ago, and somebody was talking about becoming an imperfectionist, and it really touched me. This perfectionism and my desire to, and really a compulsion to feel like I was perfect, crushed so much creativity, caused stress, anxiety, and kept me small for so many years. And I had this opportunity to work with new people, jumping in and expanding and growing and changing and being willing to be a little messy, a little imperfection. And it brought home once again, we had a dozen people saying again how not knowing if they were doing it right, not knowing if it was good enough, all of those things kept them from starting. So we're going to talk today also about how do we transform that and change that. I had another note I was going to say. Let me see if I can remember what it is. So this is when we're trying to find the words. We're trying to be consistent. We're trying to attract the best clients. We're trying to be visible consistently and in a way that actually grows our business, has people coming toward us, wanting to work with us. Yeah. So the number one thing that stops us from doing that is this confidence crusher of perfectionism. And hopping back to my little banners here. And so what do we do? A lot of times, especially because we're working in the Go Live formula right now, a lot of times we're told, just do it. And I have seen so many times, and I did this to myself for years, doing, Broadway auditions and TV commercials and just like forcing myself to go pound the pavement because that's what I thought it was supposed to be. And when we are driving and pushing and just doing it, sometimes it works against us. Sometimes it increases the resistance. And I know for me, it got to a point where I couldn't push or just do it at all, it got me more and more contracted. And I've seen time and time again amazing experts, heart led, spirit guided, highly inspired visionaries, people who have transformed from so many things, have a huge message to share, and have it be crushed by just do it, because at a point, after a certain point, they can't, or they feel like they have already done. Maybe you feel like you've already done everything and you tried just do it and it didn't work. So what do we do instead? And I have seen this work again and again. Just do it often stops us dead in our tracks ultimately. So what happened on our Fearless Facebook Live call on Wednesday, and it happens every single time, and it moves me to the core, is that we created a container. We created a transformation vehicle, an opportunity for people who were doing things for the first time or doing things again in a new higher level way, up-leveling their messaging, doing something that was bigger than their previous self. And they were doing it in this container. They were doing it in a with tons of support. How do I say it? What am I talking about? Where do I push the buttons? Tons of support. And also alongside and in this container with other people who were awesome. And they could see, well, that person's amazing. That person looks good. That person sounds okay. And they were all knew that they were doing something vulnerable at the same time. It's so inspiring and it's so powerful. So if just do it hasn't worked for you, chances are you need a different container, a champion, some momentum that can be created in these containers that I know we create in our programs, and wherever you find it. That container of safety, a safe place to be a little messy, a safe place to step into your newfound. I submit to you the opportunity right now to decide to become an imperfectionist. If you struggle with perfectionism, have it be a value, have it be how you move in the world. All right. So the confidence crusher is perfectionism. The antidote to perfectionism is to embrace imperfectionism, strong and wrong, be a little messy, and have a really safe, fun, uplifting container to do it in. Okay. That's number one. Next, we're going to talk about, is that the next thing? Yes. So there's 3 steps. This is part of that having that container and embracing the imperfectionism and being a little bit messy is part of these 3 steps to transformation. So I promised to talk about how do we transform perfectionism? How do we transform from nobody's listening to me, my visibility is not working, I don't know how to do it, I'm not doing it right, all that stuff, to grow our business, share our message, expand our, I call it mastering your expansion mindset, because we never get it done and you can't get it wrong. So how do we do that? And there's always the same 3 steps to any transformation. Any transformation has these 3 steps. So the first is becoming aware. And for me, and for many of the people I've supported, just beating the pavement or just do it was not filled with awareness. I was trying to not be aware of the vulnerability, the resistance, the uncertainty. Yeah. So, awareness that, whoa, this is vulnerable, especially when working on video, or for a lot of people being on stage. Right now, the whole world's on video. You got to be on video. You really, really got to be on video. If you want to reach and serve people, this is an option. And whatever you have to transform in order to do that is going to transform how you be in the world. It's going to transform your abundance, your prosperity. It's going to transform how you think of yourself and how other people think of you. And it's certainly going to transform your impact and your income and your ability to serve and reach the people who are looking for you, right? So awareness that, whoa, video's vulnerable, or I second guess myself, or I am, it's not working. What I'm doing isn't working. Awareness that maybe you're pushing at a strategy, a tactic, or a tool that's not aligned with you. And trust me that you can absolutely grow your business, make an impact, continue to grow and expand your own spiritual experience in the world through your entrepreneurship, with support, clarity, and by becoming aware of what's stopping you and having the support you need, you have taken the first step. being in reality, being in truth. Reality is a little overrated, but being in the highest truth, the truth of who you are, truth. And that is not someone who plays small. That is not someone who worries about getting it perfect. That is someone who shows up and shines. All right. So, how do we do that? Step one, we become aware. I want that. I am that. If you can see it in others, it has to be in you, or you wouldn't see it. All right. So, we become aware. The second step to transformation is acceptance, because I like to alliterate on the A's. So let's talk about what is acceptance. It's not accepting that you're mediocre. It's not accepting that your dreams won't come true. We don't surrender our heart's desire. We actually accept that there is resistance and we surrender the resistance. Stop fighting against ourselves. And that is when we have support, encouragement, community, and some tips, strategy, and tools to do something a little bit differently, right? A little bit differently. Take a little bit of a new step in a new direction and rediscover who you really are, stepping toward your greatness. So acceptance means that we stop fighting and stop resisting our own heart's desire. Okay, it's important to reframe that, because for a long time, for me, surrender, and for many people I've been able to support, acceptance meant accepting less. And that is not what acceptance is. Acceptance is accepting your greatness, accepting your heart's desire, accepting that you are a fantastic CEO of a 7-figure transformation business and you will act accordingly. All right, not accepting mediocrity or defeat. Okay, very important differentiation. Third step is always action. But we've talked about action that's just pushing against and determined and bootstrapping. That's why I want to be sure to say, to clarify, emphasize inspired action. Because sometimes I know for me and for many of my clients, the people I've been able to talk with and teach to and support and mentor, inspiration, that called feeling, that purpose-led feeling, won't leave you alone. It is inspired, it is guidance. So when we start to embrace, trust, bank on that inspiration, and then we take action, everything can transform super, super quickly. That's like quantum leaps. All right. So quantum leaps happen when we trust. I've made some crazy decisions, big investments, taken some big strides, jumped off the cliff so many times because I was guided, and it was not sure. I didn't know. It felt big. It felt crazy. It felt, right? It's never, you are never dropped. It never fails, no matter what your results are. You're always moving forward. So following that inspiration in your marketing, in your business, in your client enrollment, in your impact, in your strategies, tactics, and tools is essential. So action, yes, always staying in action. So the hidden, going back to our first point today about that confidence crusher, which is perfectionism. So perfectionism often hides and disguises itself as procrastination, which is a long word for fear, right? And procrastination is clever and cunning, and it gets us into, I got to do these other little things first. I got to get my website finished. I got to get my, all my contracts in a row, or all my ducks in a row, or all my nuts squirreled away. Inside joke for my Dare to Soar people. Before I can enroll clients, really actually reach out and make offers and serve people. That is not true. So that perfectionism has many ways that it very reasonably and rationally makes its case, playing on our fears around moving forward. Marianne Williamson told us 25 years ago in A Return to Love, it is our lightness, not our darkness, that most frightens us, right? We ask ourselves, who am I to be? Gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of the universe, of God, whatever you want to call it. And your playing small does not serve the world. So going back to that confidence crusher, and then we talked today about 3 steps to transformation. The first, becoming aware, owning the vulnerability, owning your desire, owning your ambition, realizing where you want to go, what you want to do, what's slowing you down, standing in the way and stopping you. All of that is awareness. We have to be aware. Step 2, acceptance. Remember, that's not giving up, throwing in the towel, surrendering because it's never going to work out. You're not surrendering your dreams. You're not accepting less. You're accepting more. You're stepping into the greatness of who you are in the acceptance step. Yeah. And that means you make a decision. I want this business. I want this impact. I want to embrace visibility. I want to have fun marketing. I want to love talking about what I do as much as doing what I do. I want to play bigger. I want to help more people. I want to be an uplifter. I want to serve. That is what we're accepting. We're accepting that truth of who we are. Just because you want to is all the reason you need. Just because you want to. And then what do we do with it? Then we tune in and we follow that inspiration. We invest in ourselves. We are drawn to the mentors and the guides and the communities that uplift us and help us to transform. We're drawn to the people we want to serve. We're drawn to the message we want to share. We're drawn to the courses we want to create and the offers we want to make. And then when we are following that and allowing that through our action, aligned, inspired, guided action, then our audience, your audience, the people who are looking for you are going to be drawn to you. 3 steps to transformation: awareness, acceptance, action. And then finally, I wanted to share my confidence formula. All right. You're not going to be surprised. This is my hard algebra, my clarity and confidence formula. I'm going to show you some confidence algebra right here. I'm having fun with the banners today. Did you tell? Can you tell? If you're here watching live, say hi, let me know, share a takeaway, make a comment so people know you're here. That allows more people to be uplifted and served, and it allows me to know what's valuable for you and keep providing that value. It allows you to give voice to your opinion, your experience, your takeaways, and it makes it more, help you own it and make it more solid for you. So share a comment. If you're not clicking the StreamYard connector, then I'll come back and check those comments in a little while. I don't think I'm seeing any comments right now, but thank you for commenting, liking, and if this is valuable for you, let somebody else know. All right. So the confidence formula, our final point of the day, is courage. I have a typo. Courage, imperfectionists. I'm an imperfectionist, walking my talk. Courage is the first step. We don't get confident and then get brave. Courage is the first step, plus action. And remember, we're talking inspired action, guided action, not just random, frenetic, I got to get it done. I'm going to just stay in action, guilty, right? If I spot it, I got it. So we're talking about following the nudge, trusting yourself, going forth from that inspired, connected place, and then repeat. Keep going. The biggest thing people are sharing with me over and over again around being visible, growing their business is consistency. And I think it's absolutely unfair and unrealistic to expect that you're going to be perfectly consistent alone in a vacuum in your office with your computer growing your business. We need community. We need guidance. We need inspiration. We need to fill our own well, not just generate and put it out and put it out. All right. Courage as a value, as a truth. I am a brave person. I do brave things. Own it and step forward into it by following your inspiration and taking action. All right, step forward into courage. Courage is an act. Courage from the word heart. It is a heartful action. You take that inspired action, and that is a manifestation of your courage. It's how you implement your courage. Remember, you don't need courage if you're not afraid, right? And being fearless does not mean that you are afraid, that you don't have fear. Fearless really means not being afraid of the fear, not letting the fear decide your action, and being willing to lavish yourself with support and encouragement and inspiration and fill your well so that you can take that inspired action. Yeah. Courage plus action times repetition. Consistency. What do I repeat? How do I repeat? How often do I repeat? What's working? What's not? Where do I tweak? Where do I up level? Never going to get that done. All right. The repetition doesn't end. Your business doesn't end. Your journey doesn't end until you transition. And then it even keeps going, as far as I'm concerned. Right? So repetition, what to repeat, how can you build a rhythm? How can you find your rhythm in your messaging? How can you find a rhythm that leads to your offers and invitations? How can you find a rhythm to create your content? How can you streamline that rhythm so that it's easy to repeat? How can you dial it up and dial it up again so it's reaching and serving even more people, so it's even more relevant? This is where guidance, support, community, soundboarding, masterminding, mentoring help you. Right. And it's a completely crazy person's game to think you're going to do it alone, or you're going to let your business get big enough so that you can afford to grow your business. Cart, horse, don't do it. Right. And that's one of the bigger mistakes I see people in the service industry make again and again. My business has to earn its right for me to invest in it. It's backwards. Right. Let yourself be supported. Courage. The value, it's who you are, it's what you stand in from this day, from this moment forward, no matter what. You follow it up with inspired action. I'm an imperfectionist, thus the typo, right? At times, repetition. Okay, keep going. Your calling isn't going to leave you alone. I tried it. I was like, I'll just do this, I'll just do that. It didn't work out, and it didn't leave me alone. Stepping in, moving forward, finding the support, the guidance, the inspiration you need to keep going is your repetition. And that is where your confidence is. That is where, on the other side of courage, action, repetition, is where your confidence is. On the other side of courage, action, repetition is where your clarity is. You try stuff. What worked? What didn't? All right. You don't have to try everything. Right? You have to try stuff that you feel guided to, try stuff that resonates with you, try stuff that feels aligned for you, and then have the mentoring, support, encouragement, clarity, colleagues to refill your well, to help you keep growing, to help you stay inspired, to help you get clear. So that's my Give Voice to Your Vision training for you today. We will be back to our regular Thursday at noon time starting next week. We have an amazing fall lineup for you. So if this has been valuable, please share the training with someone you love and want to support. Please remember, if you're watching in the Power Up Your Presence group, you're welcome to invite friends to join us there. Like it, heart it, share it, share the love, and reach out if you know you need support, you don't understand something, or you want to go deeper on anything that we've covered in any of these trainings that we do. Private message us, send us a note, comment below, and we want to make sure that you have the support you need to move forward. All right. So please, when you watch the replay, don't forget to share your takeaways and to share the love if this has been valuable to you. And contact me if you have any questions about giving voice to your vision and you want to play bigger, you want to streamline your visibility, give voice to your work in the world, and create huge impact, accelerate your business momentum, and make the difference you are called to make. I'll see you next week.